Just really quickly want to show you two more examples of factoring when either the b value or the c value is negative. So let's look at this expression here with x squared minus 12x plus 20. So identifying our c value here, we know that our c value is positive 20, which is a great start. And then our b value is negative 12. So when I consider that I want to multiply to positive 20, but I want to add to negative 12, here's where you might get into a bit of a situation when you look at the math, right? Multiply, add, and factors. So if I look at the factors of 20, we have 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. None of those are negative numbers. So what do I do here? And something to kind of consider is what I mentioned before, looking back here, a negative times a negative is a positive. So instead of one of the factors being negative, let's assume that both of the factors are negative. So we could look at negative 1 and negative 20. We could look at negative 2 and negative 10. And we could look at negative 4 and negative 5. The question then is just asking which ones add up and equal negative 12. And hopefully you could see, negative 1 plus negative 20 is negative 21. Negative 4 plus negative 5 is negative 9. So our correct answer are negative 2 and negative 10. And again, because it's minus 2, I'm going to write x minus 2. And because it's minus 10, negative 10, I'm going to write x minus 10. And that would be the factored form. So when the last number is positive and the middle number is negative, both of these are going to be negative. Fun little trick there. Now let's say both the c value, here is negative 21, and the b value are negative. So x squared minus 4x minus 21. So both of these are negative. So when I think about the math, the multiply, I want to multiply to negative 21. We want to add to negative 4 to find our factors. So I'm going to look at the factors of positive 24 and know that since it equals a negative number, one of them has to be negative. So it's either 1 and 21 or 3 and 7. So it's either negative 1 and positive 21, positive 1 and negative 21, negative 3 and positive 7, or positive 3 and negative 7. So here's a good trick to kind of keep in mind. If the bigger number is negative, when you add them, it's going to end up being a negative number. So let's look at these two right here. I'll give you a hint. It's not these. So negative 3 plus 7 is positive 4, right? Because 7 is bigger than 3 and 7 is a positive number, so it will be positive. But if I make the negative the 7, 7 again is bigger than 3 and the 7 is negative, so it will be negative 4. So our factors, I'm going to go ahead and erase these just to clear up some space here. So the factors are going to be 3 and negative 7. So again, when I write my answer, the 3 is positive, so I'm going to write x plus 3 because it's positive 3. And then the 7 is negative, so I'll write x minus 7. And that will be our final answer. At this point now, we've seen a couple of different examples of different scenarios where we have to deal with negative numbers. And you know what? If you're not feeling too comfortable about negative numbers, there's no shame in using a calculator. And I strongly encourage you to continue to use a calculator until you feel really comfortable with negative numbers.